The fire that starts a man. Every man remembers the moment he got rejected. It hits like a punch to the chest. The ego cracks, the heart tightens, and for a split second, the world feels like it's laughing at him. He offered interest, she offered indifference. He offered effort, she offered excuses. He tried to be honest, she treated him like he was invisible. And in that moment, most men crumble at this moment. Most drown in self-pity, crying about how unfair life is. Most take rejection as a permanent stamp on their value. But a rare breed of man thinks differently. A rare breed takes that pain and turns it into fuel. He doesn't break, he evolves. Tate says it all the time. Pain is the strongest fuel for transformation. It's the spark that wakes up the primal part of a man, the part that says, I will become so powerful that your absence becomes irrelevant. This is not a video to cry with you. This is not a video to complain about women. This is a video to build you into the man who turns rejection into evolution. Because the truth, the brutal, unfiltered truth, is simple. The best revenge you can ever give to a woman who rejected you is becoming the man she will spend the rest of her life wishing she had chosen. To reach this level, the rare breed of man in you must evolve, and that evolution begins with one brutal truth. He learns fast. Rejection isn't personal. Rejection is calibration. She didn't reject him. She rejected the version of him that showed up. And instead of crying, begging, sending paragraphs, or drowning in self-hate, he does what powerful men do. He looks in the mirror and says, "Good, I needed that." This is where the average man collapses, but he is done being average. Because successful men understand something weak men never learn. A rejection is simply a mirror reflecting who you are right now, not who you can become. And that realization shifts him into the next phase of transformation. This is where beast mode truly begins, emotional control. Most men don't understand one thing. Being emotional is not the problem. Staying emotional is. You can feel hurt, you can feel angry, you can feel betrayed, you can feel embarrassed. But those emotions must have a purpose. They must harden you, not soften you. Therefore, he understands this and doesn't spam his phone, ask why, beg for another chance, try to prove his worth, complain about women. No, he goes silent. Because a man who reacts emotionally loses leverage. A man who is quiet becomes unpredictable. And a man who is unpredictable becomes powerful. Rejection triggers two paths. 1, weak men collapse emotionally. 2, strong men become disciplined machines. He chooses the latter. And once he locks down his emotions, he is ready for the next battlefield. Because emotional control means nothing if your frame is weak.
Now he gives himself the first command of masculine evolution. Fix your body. Why? Because the body is the foundation of discipline. The body is the external reflection of internal order. Women sense it, men respect it, and he feels it. He doesn't go to the gym to impress her. He goes because the man in the mirror deserves better. He trains like a weapon being forged. Heavy weights, hard runs, unbreakable consistency. Every rep becomes a message. You rejected the old version of me, but you will never meet this new one. His shoulders widen, his chest expands, his walk becomes calm, controlled, dangerous. But physical strength alone isn't enough. A truly powerful man must also conquer his inner battlefield. After upgrading his body, he attacks his mind. He eliminates weak thoughts like, why didn't she want me? Am I not good enough? She was the one. that mental poison dies today. He replaces it with dominant beliefs. Her rejection is my ignition. I choose my value. I upgrade daily. I attract. I don't chase. He stops thinking like a victim and starts thinking like a competitor. He becomes mentally sharp, emotionally bulletproof, intellectually dangerous. And with a stronger mind comes the fuel for the next evolution, his grind. Now he applies pressure. Because the simple truth is, you don't beat rejection by crying about it. You beat it by transforming yourself into a man she can't even stand beside anymore. So instead of scrolling, stalking her profile, or telling the same sad story, he enters beast mode isolation. He works, he builds, he learns. He stacks skills that pay forever. He develops traits women chase instinctively: ambition, stability, charisma, discipline, confidence. His days become so filled with leveling up that rejection becomes a footnote in his journey. He is no longer the boy who wanted her. He is becoming the man who commands the world. And because of this, success begins to create ripples she cannot ignore. He doesn't even try to make her jealous. He doesn't try to show off, but life has a funny way of broadcasting success. A mutual friend mentions his new physique. Someone shares the business he launched. She sees a photo of him traveling, leveling up, glowing with purpose. And then, for the first time, she pauses. She thinks, wait, what happened to him? He looks different, stronger, more confident. That moment of hesitation, that flicker of regret, that is the silent revenge. But even that isn't the peak, because something even bigger happens. He realizes he doesn't want her anymore.
Every man hits this moment in his transformation. He looks at his new life, his new mindset, his new discipline, and realizes the man he has become has new standards. She didn't reject him, she rejected the unrefined version of him. Now, she no longer qualifies for the life he is building. He went from, "Why didn't she choose me?" to, "Thank God I didn't settle for her." This is where the emotional chains shatter, and he finally sees the bigger picture. Looking back, he realizes something profound. Her rejection wasn't an attack, it was a gift. It forced him to wake up, build himself, increase his standards, eliminate weakness, and discover his potential. If she had accepted him, he might have stayed soft. He might have stayed comfortable. He might have never evolved. But her no turned him into a man with purpose, hunger, discipline, options. She unintentionally forged the strongest version of him, and that transformation brings him to the final phase. He becomes unreachable. This is the peak of masculine revenge. He becomes the man she can't text casually, she can't call randomly, she can't flirt with easily, she can't access freely. Not because he blocked her, not because he hates her, but because he has outgrown her entire world. She rejected him when he was affordable. He became a luxury. And luxuries aren't cheap. Luxuries aren't common. Luxuries aren't accessible. She didn't realize she was rejecting a man with potential. Now she faces the reality of a man who is untouchable. And this leads to the final truth every young man must hear. Every powerful man learns the same lesson. A woman rejecting you is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your rise. Real men don't chase. Real men don't beg. Real men don't collapse. Real men build. Real men climb. Real men dominate. He becomes the man who wakes up early, trains like a weapon, builds wealth, sharpens his discipline, controls his emotions, demands respect, walks with purpose. He becomes the kind of man whose presence speaks louder than words, and that presence becomes the final answer to rejection. So what is the best revenge you can give a girl who rejected you? Not anger, not jealousy, not trying to prove yourself. The best revenge is this: become a man so powerful, so disciplined, so successful, so confident that the version of you she rejected no longer exists. He doesn't hate her. He doesn't blame her. He silently thanks her, because she triggered the transformation that turned a boy into a machine, a dreamer into a force, a good man into a dangerous man. She rejected him. He rebuilt himself. And now, she can't reach him anymore. That is the ultimate masculine revenge. That is the rise of a warrior. That is beast mode.
If this message is resonating with you, if you are on this path, make your commitment. Hit like to signal your evolution. Subscribe to join the men who are building. And comment, "I am building," as a public declaration.